Okay. It's goalkeeper Pasquale. What's up, guys? So I'm here this time to discuss my first season experience with Valhalla. So the first thing I want to do is, first of all, I would like to say thank you to Valhalla for letting me play with you guys. And second of all, I would like to apologize for not being better. Like I wanted to join a team and really make a difference for that team. And I don't really feel like I made a difference for your team. If anything, it feels like I made things worse. I don't know. Maybe that's not the case, but it sure feels like it. I don't feel like I did great with you guys. Anyway, so thank you for letting me play with you. And I'm sorry things didn't go better with me. For the time being, I have some reasons that I can't continue playing with you guys with them. I'm not sure if I'm talking to them or just in general. And a few of those the reasons are basically I coach at a club that's now assigned me a team to coach the practices on a night that conflicts with when that division of that league while Valhalla plays. So I have a conflict now. Second of all, it's really far. Like I live really far from where they play those games. I haven't actually clocked it, but it's got to be at least 50 miles. So I'm driving 50 miles each way to play there, which is, it's a lot. And one time I went there and the game was canceled, and it's like we all showed up and no one told it was canceled, and I basically drove 100 miles to stretch. So I can't do it because of a conflict, and the distance I had to drive to do it was stretching me thin as it was. And well, there's a situation with the league that I didn't like, which is what I'm going to kind of get into to start with, I think. And also, I didn't like that Valhalla wouldn't practice. Okay, I just didn't like it. And I've had this situation a lot, and I told myself quite some time ago, at least 10 years, if not closer to 15, after numerous people that I knew who knew that I was a goalkeeper asked me to play for those teams, and I would play with them, and they wouldn't practice, and then we go to games and we would get our butt kicked. And I started asking in that situation, does your team practice? And any team that told me that their team did not hold at least one get-together a week other than showing up to play a game, I just decided, like, I'm not going to play for you. If you're not holding some kind of practice, training, scrimmage other than the game day, I'm not going to play for you. And I made that decision a long time ago. And when I got into this with Valhalla, I basically learned about that league from a group of guys who do play at least once, if not a couple other times a week other than the game they play in that league. And there's another team in that league who I played a Sunday pickup game with probably 5 times over the course of last summer. So it just sort of felt like, or it seemed like it would be, or I assumed that like the guys on the teams in this league get together to practice, to scrimmage on a weekend, or I just sort of figured that. And by the time I realized it wasn't going on, I was kind of in already. So I don't want to say that I'm leaving this team. And to be honest, like I played 5 games with these guys. We're going to get into the number of games because I took issue with this. So I played 5 games with these guys, and we lost 5-2, 9-0, 8-0, 3-0, and 10-0. And then we had a couple months off, and this year they picked up and started. They picked up the 3 games that got rained out and played those. The first game they played without me, they won 5-1, and then they lost 3-2, and then they lost 5-1. So they actually seem to be doing better without me. So I don't know if they would want me back anyway. And like I said, I don't want to say that I would not play for these guys again, but for the time being, at least, I have a conflict. I'm happy to not be driving that far for games. And what I'm going to get into about this league. So I don't want to say I'm leaving, but I'm not calling it off with this team because they don't practice. I don't love that they don't practice, but I'm going to think of it like I'm stepping aside for those other reasons, and I'm going to not feel guilty about it because they don't practice. So normally that in and of itself would be enough reason for me to just be like, I'm not playing with you guys. But that's not why. So, yeah, I'm on this chat thread. I've mentioned it here before. I'm on a chat thread that they put me on when I joined this team. So I'm looking at myself instead of right in the camera. And my contacts I don't see close up very well. So if it looks like I'm sleepy or something weird's going on with me, I'm not. I'm just not looking in the right place. So anyway, we played our last game December 2nd, and then there were no more games for the rest of the year, and they didn't pick back up until the beginning of February. So basically 2 months of radio silence, like nothing. Not a peep on that chat thread for 2 months. And then, they start having games, and then it pops up their message, oh, there's going to be a game, and everyone starts, oh, we're going to be there, we're not going to be there. And then the comments start flowing. And it's just a big session, to tell you the truth, on their chat thread. And this is what I wonder. So now we got some games, we get on there, and it's kind of like joking around. But where were you guys for 2 months over December and January when the league wasn't happening? Nobody got on there and said, hey guys, we just spent the fall getting our kicked 8, 9, and 10-0. Why don't we get together and have a scrimmage? Why don't we get together and train and do some dribbling drills, do some passing drills, do some shooting drills, maybe get to know our goalkeeper a little better. This was a big deal for me, okay? And I'm going to get to that when I get to the games thing, but it's like, how bad do you have to get your ass kicked to actually give a that you're getting your ass kicked, right? What would it take to inspire a practice? Worse than 10-0, I guess, because that didn't do it. Okay. So let me paint a picture of how things went with this league, okay? I'm going to count games. So week one, we play a game. Let me scoot this away from myself a little bit. Okay. Week 1, we played a game. Week 2, we played a game. Week 3, we got rained out. Week 4, we played a game. Week 5, we got rained out. And week 6, we played our 4th game, okay? If you're paying attention, you can count. That's in 6 weeks, we played 4 games, okay? By this game, by week number 6, by the 4th game, I was at the game going, okay, I've kind of got a name with every face. kind of felt like for the first time, I'd seen every face that was there at least once, and I mostly had a name for every face. I'm like, okay, I've kind of got the hang of these guys' names with their faces now. Okay. And then what happened? Where are we? We're like that. Okay. So this is what happened. Week 6. So in 6 weeks, we play 4 games. I'm just now in week 6 starting to get the hang of everyone's name. Then it goes like this. Let me move over to the side. Then it goes like this. Week 7, the entire league has a bye week for Halloween, so we don't play. The next week, which is the week right after the entire league has a bye week, our team has a bye week. The following week, we get rained out. Even though it hadn't rained in over 24 hours, we get a rain out because they don't want their precious field to get messed up. The next week gets called off because of Thanksgiving, even though Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday and the games are on a Tuesday, but it still gets called off for Thanksgiving for some reason. So we don't play that week. And then what would be over here, again, week 11, we play our 5th game. So we're over here in week 11, we play 5 games in 11 weeks, okay? So if you're counting, here you go. Okay? By the 4th game, so between that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks later, how does it go? 5 weeks like this. 5 weeks later, I'm just getting the hang of everyone's name, okay? Now 1, 2, 3, 4, week 11, 5 more weeks later until I even see these guys again. As much time from the first game until the last game we played has now passed until the last game has gone till this game. So I show up and I don't know anyone's dang name anymore. I don't remember anyone's name. I mean, the manager guy, yeah. The guys who play fullback who are in front of me, who I interact with the whole time. Yeah, I know their names. 3 guys. I don't know anyone else's name, and half of the team is bald dudes. From here, it's like, take your pick. That bald guy, that bald guy, that bald guy, that bald guy. I don't know anyone's name anymore. And I can't see who you are from back here. It's just a bunch of bald dudes who I don't know your name. It's like I barely had the hang of your name by then anyway, and 5 more weeks have passed without seeing you. I don't know anyone's name. And so I had no chance to build any rapport with this team. And I'm actually getting around to it with the schedule that I just outlined. So a little bit of this I'm hanging on the team for not practicing. Because let's say, just in terms of, let's say high school. You're a new kid going into 11th grade in a new high school. You join the soccer team Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. A week goes by. You've just had in a week as much time spent with your team that I spent with these guys in 4 months. Okay? And it's been 5 days in a row. So by the end of week 1, you know everyone's name on the team because they're all showing up. Some of these guys don't even show up. Like we were in week 6, game 4, week 6, and there were guys showing up I'd never seen before. So it's like in a high school or a college setting or some type of club environment, like within a week, you would have as much exposure to your teammates as I got in 4 months, okay? So I feel like I had really no opportunity to get to know these guys. I've got no rapport with them. I've got no chemistry with them. And I'm out here playing a game with guys who can't be depended on to show up routinely. It's not the same guys week in and week out. And so based on the schedule, and okay, we're playing September, October, November, December. It's like you've got 4 months, 4 weeks a month. That's 16 weeks, okay? There's 9 teams, so you each team, there's 8 other teams to play. So we play each team, instead of playing 8 teams twice each, which makes 16, which there's 16 weeks from the end of summer until the end of the year. There's 16 weeks. You play each team twice. Instead of that, we play each team once. And actually, almost half of those games got called off because of rain. What the? What the actual? I'm sorry. So you took our money, the league I'm talking about now, and this is where I'm pissed. I'm not pissed off at the team. They should hold a practice and handle their business. But what's actually pissing me off, I ever since I was a little kid, I hate getting called off because of bad weather, okay? So you took our money, okay? Yeah, it was only $100. I'm gonna get into that $100. You took $100 from us, and then it rains, and you call the game off because your precious field is gonna get torn up. It's like, guess what? Send the maintenance guys out and sod the field or fix it the up. If you're gonna take our money, maintain your field, okay? You took the money, take care of your field, and let us play the game, okay? I know guys who play professionally in Europe, okay? And I've known them since they were little kids playing in Europe, since a decade and a half before they were pro, okay? They don't call games off because of weather, okay? Cold, rain, sleet, snow. I actually asked someone over there who I know, a family member, and she said the only way they call a game off is if it rains so much and then freezes that it would basically be like an ice rink. That's the only way a game is getting called off in Europe. Okay. And I play a pickup game on Saturday morning that I've been going to for over 2 years now. That game is on no matter what, okay? I don't call anybody. I don't check the thread. I show up. I get up at 6, I show up at 7, and I play that game. I've been out there in 17 degrees Fahrenheit, which is way below freezing. I've been out there in 44 degrees in rain, and I've been out there in 115 degrees with 100% humidity. That game happens no matter what, okay? I've never shown up and that game wasn't on. I showed up a couple times over a holiday and it was moved to a different field, but they play that game. And you know what? They're all European guys, most of them. At least, I would say 2/3 of those guys are European guys. They don't stop, they don't call it off because of rain, okay? So I never had a chance because of this wimpy league to build any rapport with my team, okay? And you can go on their Facebook page and it says HFA, the best soccer league in America. Maybe, and it says the best soccer league in America, maybe even the world. No, you're not. No, you're not, HFA. You suck. You're a bunch of American, and I'm American, okay? I'm calling it out. You call games off because of bad weather. It's a thing to do, okay? You took $100 from me. There's 30 guys on my team, 29 actually, let's call it 30. That's $3,000. There's 9 teams in that league. That's $27,000, okay? There's at least 10 divisions in that league, and some of them have more than 9 teams, if not 12 or 15 divisions. You're talking about somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000 you took, and you call games off because it rained? Go and maintain your field, dude. Put some sod out on the field and play the game. Can you imagine? Okay, and I've talked about this before on maybe my very intro video to Goalie God. I've compared a soccer game to Vikings going into battle with swords and shields, okay? Can you imagine a couple of Viking kings or warlords up on top of this hill, and they're looking down at this village that they're basically gonna conquer, right? And they're like, hey, Thor. Yeah, Bjorn. You know, it feels like a few raindrops. I feel some drops of water falling from the sky, bud. You know, I think it's gonna rain, you know. Maybe we should call off the invasion until it rains. Yeah, Thor. You know, this new fur jacket I got from the last village, I think it's gonna get ruined. I think it's gonna get ruined if I go into battle in the rain. It might get muddy. Yeah, Bjorn. My sandals, they work a lot better on dry terrain. So I think we should, I think we should call off the invasion until it stops raining. Oh no, Bjorn, no. I mean, we can't just call it off until it stops raining. We need to. We need to call it off until a couple of days after the rain stops so everything can dry out again. Are you kidding me? No, they're not. No, they're not. Who the calls off because of bad weather? You know what? Guess what? This is why America, the United States has never won a World Cup. Okay? You've never ranked higher than one game past elimination stage. Okay? You get in the elimination stage and guess what happens? You get eliminated by teams who don't call off for bad weather. Surprise. That's right. That's the guys who go to my Saturday morning pickup game. They're all 2/3 of those guys are from countries who've won the World Cup twice, 3 times, 4 times. That's right. That's right. We're already football, as they call it in America. You're already competing with American football, baseball, basketball, volleyball, all kinds of other. So we're only playing football, soccer, sorry to confuse everybody, soccer, 20% of the time that kid in Europe is playing soccer. When we're playing American football, they're playing soccer. When we're playing baseball, they're playing soccer. When we're playing basketball, they're playing soccer. That's all they do. We're only playing 20% of the time, and then half of that gets eaten up because you call off over bad weather. Yeah, we get our kicked. Yeah, we can't win the World Cup. You took our money. Play the game, take care of your field. That's what I think. Some is what it is. Calling off for weather. Week 11. Week 11. It's not even, that pinky's not even up. It's week 11 until I even play the 5th game. I don't even know my teammates' names. And they won't hold a practice to save their life. Radio silence for 2 months. And then we've got a game. Now we can start on the comment thread. Surprise, we got our kicked 8, 9, and 10-0. Surprise. I feel like I had more to say about this. I mean, what else is there to say? What else is there to say? I mean, okay, so I play 5 games with us. 2 of them aren't too bad. 3 are absolute cremations. And then we have 2 months off, and you play a game. The first game you play without me in 8 months, because summer went by, and you won it 5-1. So maybe you're losing because of me. Maybe I came out there and I sucked. I don't think I've ever played for a soccer team that wasn't exponentially better because I was in their goal. I don't think that's ever happened to me before, but it did now. So I kind of refuse to hang it on me. If for anything, I think it's for lack of chemistry and lack of opportunity to build rapport, which I just painted that picture because of the league, calling it off because of rain. And it's like, okay, I get it. I think Halloween actually fell on Tuesday night, which is okay, so you call the game off. On Thanksgiving's on Thursday. We were playing on Tuesdays. It's like, why doesn't that game happen? It's like they pick any reason to call off games and then the team won't practice. I had absolutely no chance to build chemistry or rapport with the team, which was super frustrating. So in my experience, on the field experience is like, we're actually on the other team's half of the field for less than 10% of every game. So I'm letting in 8, 9, 10 goals against 0. It's like, okay, but we're not scoring. We're barely ever on their field. They have the ball for 90% of the game. Yeah, they're going to score some goals. What do you want? I wanted practice is what I wanted. And I spoke up about it, but I mean, what can you do? What can you do? The ball is on your half of the field for 90% of the playing time. There's either a guy open on that side or there's a guy open on that side. The other team always has the ball and they're never gone for more than 60 seconds. You know, it's like, yeah, they're going to score some goals, man. That's that.